Funny name, funny guy, very good producer. And it's, you know, in a band like us, you need someone that can really be decisive and be outside the band, be objective. And he made decisions that normally would take us 2 or 3 hours of discussion happen just like that. And that's very good, you know, with a band like us especially.
2 or 3 hours of discussion? When have we ever had that?
Every rehearsal we've ever had.
You didn't invite me.
You know, when you're doing stuff in the studio, it's so easy to get wrapped up in what you're doing yourself. You don't see the bigger picture. That's why the guy the other side of the control room, you have to know that his decision and his evaluation of what you're doing is the most important thing, because he hears everything. So when you've got a guy like Bob the other side, and he comes back with a point to make, it's generally the right thing to do, and it happens, as Roger says, immediately. You don't waste time. You don't waste 3 or 4 hours going over something which isn't going to work. You'll say, I don't like it, it's not working. And you go, okay, and you change it. And that's why it's important.
His attention to detail is incredible. For example, he would say to me, when you inhale, can you do it with more pathos? Between lines. Incredible.
One of the things, specifically, I think he's super strong on pre-production, which was great because, like Ian was saying, he's very quick to say, here's what I think should change or not change. And during the performances, we didn't waste a lot of time just doing endless takes. He would say, I got this, I need that, I need that, we're done. Okay, let's move on. And that's great to compact the amount of time you spend in the studio.
He's got a great idea of how music should resolve. One of his great things, this bit's all right, but it doesn't resolve. I want a resolution. And it's something musicians never think about. You know, you play, oh, this is great. But he sees it, you know, you want to give the people some closure on this little bit. And he was great for that. It was great for when we made the record, because it made us think, yeah, what's the point of this bit? You know, and we'd close it down or throw it out. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't actually write songs. They come out of playing. They come out of jamming. The fingers write them, if you like, and that can be an endless process, because all you're doing is having a bit of fun, and when you're having fun, you don't want to stop having fun. And at some point, that fun, that playing, has to kind of congeal itself into a recognizable piece of music that we normally call songs. But it doesn't really come from the head. It comes from everything: the instinct, the body, the fingers, the playing, the singing. It's just, it's what feels good. And it's very difficult to define what a Deep Purple song is. It's whatever we do, actually. We write the rules.
His job is to pull the best out of us and capture it and tell us when we've gone through that best. Because, you know, if you get something in the first 1, 2, 3 takes, that's as good as it's going to be. You might get it more perfect, but it won't be as good. It'll have that something missing that excitement of the first 1 or 2 takes gives you. I mean, my whole time in the studio in Nashville was 10 days. And that was from getting the drums in, getting a sound, recording the tracks. Now I haven't done a record that quickly since the old days, you know, when we used to go in and do it because we had the knowledge of what the songs were, which was, Steve said, the pre-production. But Bob just ran us through it like this. Okay, that's good enough, we got that, you don't need to do any more.
One of the questions I get asked a lot is, do we play live in the studio? Especially in these days of computer technology, it's very easy everyone do their single performances and it all kind of jigsaws together. But the answer to that, we play live in the studio, and most of what's on the tracks is what was originally recorded at the time we recorded it. And that gives it a freshness, it gives it a movement that you can't get if you're being very precise. So to me, that's very important.
Yeah, it's a cohesion.
For example, there's a section on the instrumental section on the album of which we couldn't overdub if we had to. I mean, it was just literally improv, everybody at once. You know, there was no click track, no nothing to go on. So that had to be a moment that we all got together.
Yeah.
Well, more than a moment. It was minutes of the album, and I think it's very, very live. The entire band was there playing every song.
When Bob came to see us, he came to see a show, and we had a meeting the next day, and what impressed him on stage was the spontaneity of the stage act, that the things happened and you feed off each other, especially Don and Steve. And he had this idea in mind that he just wanted to capture that. It's very difficult to organise spontaneity.
Difficult to organise anything in this town. We'd have been retired years ago if we could have planned it.
But I mean, he gave us this impetus, and actually it was the very first take, whatever it was, he went, that's fine, that's what I want.